We're back home, baby. Let's go. Back in the W column. Well, I got your challenge. That's a big job, baby. Point guard.
Nurse loses at Mitchell 2-on-1. It's a foot race. Mitchell to Cunningham. Cunningham right there for 2 more.
Obviously had to play out of position tonight, kind of filling that point. You had a season high 8 assists. Just how did you try to embrace that for this game and kind of?
Oh man, I haven't played point guard. I was telling the girls I haven't played point guard maybe since college, and so that was different. But I think it brings out the vulnerable side of me, the leadership in which I need to keep getting better at and keep growing at. I think being in this PG position kind of helps with that. And I think I believe in my team. So seeing my assists, go up is just because of these girls. We have an unbelievable chemistry when it comes to, seeing and reading each other. So I think they made me look good tonight.
That one finally dropped. And the look on Caitlin Clark's face said it all. She was on the sidelines, watching Lexie Hull snap out of her shooting funk with a cold-blooded 3. That shot wasn't just a bucket. It was the spark that lit up one of the Fever's most dominant performances all season. Here's the wild part. No Clark, no true point guards, and somehow this squad didn't crumble. They turned the night into a straight-up masterclass in grit and guts. The Chicago Sky?
Hull open 3. Oh, what a sight for Lexie Hull. She has needed that one to drop.
They had no clue what storm just hit them. Drop a Fever showdown in the comments if you're riding with Lexie and the Fever. Now picture the exact opposite, your worst nightmare hitting back-to-back. 2 losses in a row that nobody saw coming. Just days earlier, Indiana was rolling, smacking teams around to open their West Coast trip. Then Phoenix and LA brought them crashing down, hard. And these weren't just L's.
Obviously, we lost our last 2, but I think, that LA one felt good for us because we didn't quit. And then, life happened the other night at the Valley. So we could have looked at it like, oh, woe is me. And, we don't have enough players. And we didn't. So shout out to our group for just staying confident and staying ready because, it's a professional league and we have to be ready and we can't make too many excuses about it because no one's going to hand us anything. So we might as well look at it for what it is and keep.
These were the type that make you stare at the standings wondering if your playoff dreams are slipping away. Clark's already been out since July 15th with quad and groin injuries. No return date in sight. But then the Phoenix game turned into a disaster movie. Sydney Colson, ACL tear, first quarter. You could see the season-ending pain on her face the moment it happened. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, Ari McDonald snaps a bone in her foot in the fourth quarter. 2-point guards, same game, both done for the season. Now the Fever are looking at a depth chart with 0 true floor generals. In the WNBA, going into battle without your commander on the court, that's not just tough, that's dangerous.
Unbelievably proud. I think this is the most resilient team I've ever been a part of, and I say that wholeheartedly. We've had a lot of mishap happen throughout the course of the season. I think throughout the course of it all, we stay resilient, and you guys get to see us at our best when we stay together and be resilient. So shout out to my girls tonight because I think it took everybody. Everyone played a piece, played a role, and I think that's how we got the dub.
Losing your starter hurts, but losing the backup and the backup to the backup, that's nightmare fuel for any basketball team. Coach Stephanie White was basically drawing up new rotations on the fly. She tried to frame it as a by-committee approach to running the offense. But let's be real, that's just code for we're scrambling out here. And fans, they weren't sugarcoating it. People were openly wondering if this squad could survive a real gut punch like this. The front office's hands were tied. Trade deadline had already passed. No reinforcements were coming. What you see is what you've got. And the Chicago Sky?
You guys are unfortunately kind of familiar with injury updates this season, but I imagine yesterday's was probably pretty tough. Just what's the reaction been from you guys, the players, the coaches, to losing Sid and Ari?
Yeah, first and foremost, just brokenhearted for them. They're 2 really good people that you hate to see this happen to. They've been an integral part of what we've been doing, and so hate it for them. Unfortunately, it's part of the deal, and we've got to roll with it. And we've got players in that locker room who believe in one another, players in that locker room who are as competitive as all get out, We've got versatility, and it's going to have to be on full display, So I think now it's about playing to honor them, right? And playing.
Oh, they had to think this was their perfect shot. Indiana was wounded, desperate, missing their biggest star, and the sky had been zero for everything against them this season. This looked like their revenge night. But here's the twist. Chicago didn't know what was bubbling under the surface in Indiana. This Fever team wasn't built for collapse. All season long, they'd been cooking up something solid. This was about to turn into a lesson in unselfish basketball and straight-up grit. That's when the stage lit up for the last person anyone expected, Lexie Hull. For weeks, she'd been trapped in her own head, watching shot after shot clang off the rim as her confidence drained.
I'm like, when the song comes on, just like it's all there. Like, you just gotta believe it, and I think Lexie knows that we believe in her. Our last game in Phoenix, I think we all were just a bit emotional about everything, and I think me and Lexie had an emotional moment because, no one shot well, and I want her to know that we gonna count on her for, what she brings to the table every night, and I'm gonna always stand by my teammates, so you never have to worry.
This wasn't a minor slump. This was the coldest stretch of her career. 2 for 25 from deep over the past 2 weeks. That's ice cold, and not the good kind. Her mom hadn't seen her hit a 3 since August 1st against Dallas, and that says everything about how deep this slump really was. Lexie Hull's struggles had gotten brutal to watch. She was bricking open looks she normally buries without a second thought. You could see it in her body language.
You don't have any healthy point guards, and you're not able to sign anyone for tonight's game. Just for tonight specifically, what is your plan kind of running point?
We'll have to do it by committee, certainly. I mean, we've been utilizing AV to initiate offense throughout the course of the season, so we'll use her, continue to use her. Sophie, at times this season, particularly early, ran some of the point for us as well. So we'll utilize her and Kelsey can initiate offense too. So I think the most important thing is that we aren't going to be able to do every play in our arsenal. We'll have to play a big lineup. We'll have to simplify. But we've got players who are capable of getting us into offense, and we'll utilize them.
The hesitation, the second guessing, shots that used to be automatic now came with a pause, like she was waiting for permission from herself to pull the trigger. Her smooth, natural form had been replaced by a cloud of doubt. Every miss added another layer to the pressure sitting on her shoulders. She'd built a mental prison in her own head, instincts locked up, overthinking running the show. The low point? That Phoenix game. 1 for 11 from the floor, 0 for 8 from deep. Just 2 points all night. Easily one of the worst offensive nights of her career. Afterward, teammate Kelsey Mitchell pulled her aside, looking her dead in the eye and telling her she was still counting on her every single night. It was raw, emotional, and exactly what Lexie needed to hear. Then came Chicago. First three-point attempt of the night.
Williams gonna have to hurry off the dribble, rolls out. Oh, open three. Oh, what a sight for Lexie Hull. She has needed that one to drop.
Lexie Hull catching fire.
Now Chicago just needs to get it a little bit more settled here in the half court. Nurse loses it. Mitchell 2-on-1. It's a foot race. Mitchell to Cunningham. Cunningham right there for
Caitlin Clark watching from the bench. Lexie caught it, let it fly. That perfect backspin rolling off her fingers. The arc was clean, and swish. Clark jumped out of her seat, celebrating like she drained it herself. And just like that, the dam broke. Lexie's confidence came roaring back. She started moving with purpose, hunting her shot, cutting without the ball, making smart reads. The numbers, 4 for 6 from deep, 17 points, didn't tell the whole story. Her plus 22 plus or minus did. You weren't just watching someone score, you were watching a player reclaim her identity right there in real time. One shot. That's all it took for everything to flip. Lexie Hull's swagger was back, and the Fever bench was loving every second.
What was it like to finally break out of that slump, and especially on a night when
It's all there.
when they needed you to?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. It feels good to see the ball go through the net. But I think, every game, regardless, you're making shots, you're not, it feels really, really good to have your teammates behind you. And I definitely feel that every day. And it's fun. It was fun today.
Aaliyah Boston threw up the 3 sign with both hands, Sophie Cunningham wrapped Hull in a hug like she just hit a championship winner. And Chicago? They had no clue they were about to get run out of the building. Kelsey Mitchell was the next plot twist. In all her WNBA seasons, she'd never been asked to run the whole offense. She was a pure scorer, period. Built her name on buckets, not assists. Her stat lines had always been about lighting up the scoreboard, not setting the table for others. But with the Fever out of point guards, it was all on her. Playing point meant giving up shots she'd normally take in her sleep to feed her teammates, and that went against every instinct she'd built over 7 years in the league. Coach Stephanie White admitted Mitchell had occasionally initiated offense this season alongside Boston and Cunningham. But running the show full-time, whole different beast. You could see the adjustment in the first few trips down the court. Mitchell was battling her own habits in real time. Every fiber of her game wanted to score first, pass later.
Last month, how do you stay out of your head or listen to the right people? What is that balance like? As you know what you need to do. Take us kind of what's that like?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's focusing on doing the right thing, taking the right shots, being in the right place, focusing less on the outcome of things. Missed shots happen. It's going to happen in everyone's career. And to just really focus on getting the next good one. I think that's the whole mindset, and we know we have confidence in every single person on every shot that they take. So, it's just keep.
But then, something clicked. Her vision shifted. She started spotting lanes she'd never seen before, zipping passes through traffic, setting up easy buckets her teammates didn't even see coming. Suddenly, the scorer was the playmaker, and the Sky were completely unprepared for it. The transformation was unreal. Mitchell wasn't just running the offense. She was conducting it like a maestro with total control. Coach Stephanie White had warned they'd need to simplify the playbook and roll with a bigger lineup. But Mitchell was out there making it look like they were running championship sets. Chicago's defense was stuck in panic mode. They couldn't decide. Stop her pass or stop her shot.
Again, no Sydney Colson out for the year with the ACL tear. Lexie Hull, though, the bucket and the foul. He's dealt with so much scoring adversity lately.
Yeah, terrific baseline execution. She comes off the curl. Tell you what, this Fever team is going to be very dangerous, no matter the roster.
Oh, Lexie Hull! Heat checking her napalm era right now.
Every time they leaned one way, she hit them the other. Play her for the pass? She drilled the jumper. Crowd her to stop the shot? She'd slice through with a dime to an open teammate. She walked off the floor with a season high in assists. Proof that elite players don't just adapt, they reinvent themselves when the team needs it. Overnight, she flipped her game upside down, and suddenly the Fever's offense looked sharper than it had in weeks. But the real fireworks? Oh, they were just warming up. Now picture this squad in the playoffs. Battle-tested, gritty, and ready to welcome Caitlin Clark back into the mix.
Thought about it this time, puts it on the deck. A deflection, bodies flying to the floor. Mitchell controls, 8 to shoot. Mitchell, hesitation in the paint. The floater off the window.
And here is Kelsey Mitchell getting downhill. Little sidestep into the floater.
Pivoting, pirouetting, tough shot, well defended. Mitchell trying to attack Allen. Step back tray. Mitchell buries it.
This wasn't just a win without their superstar. It was proof the Fever have built a foundation deeper than one player carrying the weight. While other teams lean on one big name, Indiana's crafting the kind of chemistry you can't fake, the kind that wins titles. White made it clear. This roster's built with people who want to fight for each other. That's why when Hull was ice cold, they kept feeding her. And when Mitchell had to step into a whole new role, everyone shifted to make it work. Hull's swagger is officially back after snapping that brutal shooting slump. Mitchell's unlocked a whole new gear as a floor general.
They had to play out of position tonight. She had a season-high 8 assists. Just how did you see her embrace having to do that, embrace having to do like what the team needed tonight?
Yeah, I mean, that's who she is. She just wants to play. And, I felt like we did a good job of still getting her the ball in positions that she had been getting the ball. We just try to do it, a little bit more often and try to get it a little bit more in flow. And she let the game come to her. Her decision making has been really good. She had those 8 assists and only 1 turnover. Her shot making was really good, as it always is, and we know that she's going to create a lot of gravity because of what she does on the offensive end. And she did a really good job of picking her moments and finding her teammates when.
Boston's still the rock in the paint, owning her space with calm dominance. And here's the kicker. These aren't just nice little improvements. This is a supporting cast around Clark that's no longer just filling in gaps. They're becoming a squad that can carry the load themselves. Wins like this stack something you can't measure on a stat sheet: mental toughness. The kind that separates the teams who fizzle out from the ones who make deep runs. The Fever took body blows this season, losing Colson and McDonald, eating back-to-back gut punch losses to Phoenix and LA, and they still refused to fold. Instead, they bent, adapted, and came back swinging. That's championship DNA growing right in front of us. Ball movements sharper, trust runs deep, and every player's raising the other's game.
Oh, open 3. Oh, what a sight for Lexie Hull. She has needed that one to drop.
Hull benches up. Caitlin Clark with a big.
You see it when they explode, celebrating Hull's threes. You see it when Mitchell steps into a new role without blinking. Coach White's right. This group is connected in a way you can't fake. And here's the scary part for the rest of the league. 2025 isn't just about making the playoffs anymore.
Coming off the screen, trying to create some separation. 2 comes it up to Boston. It trickles in.
This team's out to make noise once they get there. They're building something that lasts, a culture where every player knows their role and sacrifices for the bigger picture. But first, they had to close the deal against Chicago. And the Sky? They were about to get smacked with a reality check. This wasn't just a basketball game anymore. It was a statement.
Add to that, I think Kelsey's not giving herself enough credit. Her and Sophie putting themselves before the team, making sure that they're sacrificing, playing out of position, doing things that they don't normally do, maybe uncomfortable, but I think they both really did a great job of sacrificing in those moments and doing what the team needed to do.
My girl, sexy Lexie.
The statement started building possession by possession. Every bucket, every stop, every hustle play sent the message louder. The Fever weren't just surviving without Clark, they were straight up dominating. Chicago tried to punch back, but every time they did, Indiana hit them harder. Boston was cleaning the glass like it was personal, ripping down rebounds in traffic and resetting the offense. Hull? She was letting it fly without hesitation, her release faster, her confidence louder. And Mitchell. She was in full command now, reading the floor like she'd been a point guard her whole life.
Van Lith on the island. Mitchell trying to create a little separation. Oh, the hezzy and the scoop off the window. Chelsea Mitchell.
Can't guard her off the bounce. The hezzy, the floater, the kiss off the glass.
Parades the baseline back up top. Working again. Westbelt. Step back 3. Rolls it in. And that is a long 2 this.
By the third quarter, the Sky looked gassed, heads down, scrambling to keep up with the ball movement. Indiana's bench was on their feet after every play, the energy in the building feeding into every possession. It stopped feeling like a regular season game and started feeling like a preview of playoff basketball. The Fever weren't just beating Chicago, they were dismantling them piece by piece. The kind of win that makes other teams watch the film twice and start rethinking their game plans. By the time the fourth quarter hit, it was over. Chicago just didn't know it yet. Every Fever possession felt like a dagger.
It says a lot about who we have as human beings. That was one of the things that we made a priority in the offseason of, who we bring into this organization. Number one, quality human beings, selfless human beings that want to pull for one another, that understand. We have this depth for a reason, and sometimes it creates challenges getting people on the floor. But in situations like this is why you have it. And I'm just, she's right. I mean, as a pro and as a pro coach, this is one of the most connected.
Mitchell was carving up defenders with passes that had the Sky spinning in circles. Hull stayed locked in, catching and firing like she'd been waiting her whole career for this night. And Boston? She was sealing defenders under the rim like the paint belonged to her and only her. The Sky's body language said it all. Hands on hips, slow to get back on defense, eyes darting at the scoreboard like they were begging the clock to speed up. Indiana smelled blood. They didn't just run the offense. They hunted mismatches. bullied their way into easy looks, and punished every mistake. The Fever bench was a party. High fives flying, towels waving, everyone standing as the lead ballooned. Every made basket wasn't just 2 or 3 points. It was a reminder that this wasn't luck, it was control. By the final minutes, Chicago wasn't even contesting shots the same way.
Her own worst critic. She's a perfectionist. She wants everything to go right all the time. And, it was nice to see the ball go through the net for her and for her to play with such confidence. For us, we believe that every time she shoots it, it's going to go in. But for her to finally feel that and see that and play with so much confidence, it's big for us. We need her. She always does the little things that don't show up on the stat sheet, but when she knocks...
They were just trying to get out without more damage. When the buzzer finally sounded, Indiana had sent a message the whole league heard loud and clear. Even without Clark, they can turn a game into a full-blown demolition. And when she comes back, somebody's season is getting ended early. The scoreboard told the story. Fever 92, Sky 71. A blowout that started as a question mark and ended as a warning flare to every contender. Lexie Hull walked off with 17 points on 4 of 6 shooting from deep, the kind of stat line that erases weeks of frustration in one night. Kelsey Mitchell, a season high in assists to go with her scoring punch, proving she can run the show and still get buckets when needed. In Boston, another double-double, controlling the paint on both ends like she was born there. But the box score didn't capture the full picture. This was about how the Fever played. Together, connected, locked in.
That final three-pointer kind of felt like the perfect end of that night. Just if you could just talk to me about the celebration, how much of a relief that was for you, just kind of to punctuate it like that.
It's fun. The crowd was behind us today. It's fun to walk out of the gym on a high note and on a make. And I saw the time going down, so I was trying to pull out my inner Kelsey Mitchell.
Every rotation on defense was crisp. Every pass on offense had purpose. The ball zipped around until it found the open shooter, and the open shooter made Chicago pay. For a team missing its superstar and both of its point guards, this wasn't supposed to happen. But that's exactly why it matters. The Fever aren't just winning games, they're building something dangerous. And when Caitlin Clark steps back onto the floor with this version of Indiana, the WNBA's playoff bracket might have to be rewritten. The scoreboard flashed 92-70. A 22-point smackdown on a team that came in desperate for a win. That's now 4 straight over Chicago this season, but this wasn't just about stacking another W.
I'm proud of this group. I think we've shown all season long, they're resilient, they're connected, they pull for each other, they enjoy one another, they celebrate one another, and that stuff alone is good for 10 to 12 points a game. And, for this group, the way that they share the ball, how unselfish they are. I'm really proud of them. It's not been ideal circumstances all season long, but they've shown the character of who they are. They've been resilient. They've responded to adversity, and they continue to elevate one another. And, I couldn't be more proud of this group than I am at this moment.
This was about making the rest of the league sit up and take notice. Chicago's staring down another year at the bottom of the standings. But for Indiana, this was proof that 2025 is different. This team isn't just winning, they're building something solid, something dangerous, something built to last. And they're doing it with a roster that's battle-tested, unselfish, and hungry. So if you're riding with Lexie and the Fever, drop a Fever Show down in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss a moment. Click the video on your screen, and we'll see you in the next one.